Good day, watch fans, and did you buy too high? So good day, watch fans, and today we're going to be talking about did you buy too high? And by that what I mean is, did you buy your watches when the market was severely inflated? Over like 2020, the market skyrocketed up to the ceiling. Some watches had increased in price by like over 20%. Now, a lot of people now are reaping the sort of consequences of this, and they've got watches that they paid a huge premium for, and now they don't know what to do with them. So today's video, we're going to discuss this and what you should be doing. So if you did buy a Rolex sports model or a Rolex dress watch or any watch, Patek, AP over this time, there's a good chance that you paid a lot more than they are worth now. Now, with watches, you've got to think of it a bit like the stock market. They tend to climb steadily over time, especially Rolex models, most of them. Not everyone, but quite a lot of them do. Now, they will sort of increase by about maybe 2% each year. So those watches will steadily climb and climb and climb. So if you bought a watch for £10,000, over time, then that watch will creep up over the years and it may be worth £15,000 to £20,000. But this doesn't happen overnight. And over sort of that period of 2020 to 2021/22, those watches went from like 10,000 up to 15 to 20. They skyrocketed in price. They went through the roof. Now, some of them might have doubled in price to what people were obviously previously paying for them. Now, this sort of left the market in a bit of a weird area. So watches were through the roof. People then were buying them because they wanted these watches. There was scarcity of them as well. There weren't so much supply going on. So the demand was through the roof. So people were buying these watches at premium. Then when sort of the market corrected, that price doesn't exist anymore. And to be honest, I don't think some of these prices are going to exist again. Not for the foreseeable future anyway. So what is the best thing for you to do? Now, number one, I would say if it was a watch that you bought because you really wanted it, keep it, enjoy it, wear that watch and embrace the fact that you've got a watch that you want, no matter what you paid for it. If you bought a car, that car is not going to be worth what you paid for it, but you still enjoy it. So why is a watch any different? Why are we obsessed with this idea that that watch is going to be worth a huge amount of money? Now, I do understand that some people buy watches for investment, but primarily this is a bonus. A watch is something you're buying because you want to wear it. A watch is something you buy because you enjoy it. It's a statement on your wrist. It's a piece of art on your wrist. It's not there as a savings account. If you wanted to get a good investment, you would put your money in a stocks and shares ISA in the stock market and it would climb steadily over time. But you can't have fun with that money whilst it's in the market. But you can with a watch, and that's what you should see it as. You can enjoy and embrace that watch. If you bought a watch for 60 grand and now it's worth 30 to 40 grand, just go, okay, I'm going to enjoy this watch. And hopefully at one point in time, further down the line, maybe in the future for your retirement or maybe to pass on to your kids, that watch will sort of get back the money you paid for it. You might break even on it, but there is value in it. But there's more value, I think, of enjoying it. Now, this goes back to whether we should be buying watches as investments or we should just be buying them to enjoy them. And I think there was a huge amount of people that jumped in the market, seeing the prices climb, going, I'm going to buy a watch for an investment because they soar like this. And I think everybody saw and got into the watches in this time with a sort of a clouded judgment of what is actual reality. And I think the whole period of time around then, the world's judgment was clouded with prices. Things were inflated, things were through the roof, property did the same, but everything now seems to have dropped back down. And if you sort of look at the graph, it's sort of gone back to the line that it would have been on prior to that. So my biggest bit of advice would be, if you've got that watch and you don't need that money now, just keep it in the watch, enjoy the watch, wear the watch, embrace the watch, and one day that price will steadily climb and you might get back to where you wanted. Probably a long time down the road, but eventually, if you're not in a rush, you might see that figure in that watch again. Number two, if you are desperate to get out of that watch and you want obviously the money out of it, then you're just going to have to take what you can get. I don't think that the watches are going to sort of climb or do another jump up. I think they're just going to stay on that steady track now over the years. So that watch, unless you want to maybe get another couple of £100 out of it, maybe another 1,000 out of it, I would just sell it as it is if you really desperately need the money or want a different watch. But if it's a big piece that you bought to enjoy, keep it. So that's sort of my opinions now on if you did buy too high. Now, it happens to all of us. We all have bought something where we look back and go, oh, now it's discounted, or now the price has dropped. But do you really regret it in the long run? If I enjoy what I've bought, I'm happy. So if I bought a car that I really wanted or I needed, and I went, right, brilliant, now it's dropped £1,000, I might for the first couple of minutes be like, oh, it's a bit of a shame. But in the grand scheme, I've got it, I'm enjoying it, it's mine. Am I really going to worry too much? That money's gone now. I've spent that money, I've made money back. I don't need that money desperately. I'm not going to miss it because it's sort of in the past. And that's how you should sort of think of these situations. That payment was in the past, you've made money back since then. And as long as you're not in debt and as long as you're not struggling, just embrace the fact you've got a watch that you enjoy and treat it like any other luxury thing that we buy that usually does drop money. Watches are one of those rare things that will give us a return on investment, unlike a lot of other things we buy in this world. So that's my opinion now on what to do. If you enjoy it and you love it, keep it. If you're desperate to get out of it, cut your losses, and sort of, if something's too good to be true, it usually is too good to be true. So, and one thing I will note is a lot of watch dealers are quite, maybe not the authorised dealers, but a lot of grey market dealers, very honest, and they will talk to you and sort of not want to rip you off. They've got a reputation and they want the best, and they're watch fans. So usually they will help you in these situations and sort of tell you the best thing to do and the best angle of attack. And also if a watch is sort of trending a bit high or they're trending low at the minute, they're usually pretty honest with you. So please like, subscribe, and hope you enjoy the video.